What's happening? Uh, got another example of how our world is ever more becoming more kind of like oppressive and like a prison. Uh, More like a prison than a pleasure sometimes. That's for sure. But I'm noticing these similarities in building structure, how they're built, and like I noticed that the government housing literally are built like a school and a prison, like uh, jail, the Genesee County Jail. The walls look just like the walls where I went to high school at. Like, in the doors had this glass on it with this wire mesh on the inside of it. And they got these same windows in the jail, and it's like when we was growing up, there was this fad that came out of sagging your pants, and they used to like laugh at us and say, "Don't you know they're just trying to get you ready for jail so Big Bubba can rape you in the butt." Like literally, dude. I heard this from police officers. Like, this is one of their ridicules as they're taking you down. Is that they're warning you about, oh, you're going to the big boom boom house. Like, and they laugh about this. Like, look, hey, we know we're gonna take you down there and put you in a room with this sodomite, and good luck, buddy. Have a nice life. Like, my quote is fulfilled this month. Uh, well, sorry for your family, bud. Sorry for your bum. Uh, there's a nurse on hand in there, buddy, and they'll stitch you up. Anyway, it's like there's this old Mark Dice video where he talks about this secret meeting between the prison industrial complex and hip hop, and like, that was the death of hip hop. After that, it turned into more like gangster rap. But even gangster rap was too kind of sophisticated. Now they just kind of, it's like rap these days is all like these money nihilists, which is, it doesn't make no sense. Like, how can you be a nihilist, and like, it makes it look like they're selling this act. Like, it appears that these nihilists are being rewarded for their corporate psychopathic behavior, and it's all propped up, man. It is a bubble market, dude. Like, the more that I look at it, because with my career in criminality didn't last that long, and because I realize it's kind of like, look, not only is it morally wrong to be a criminal, in most cases, because there is the Robin Hood effect where depending, it's debatable whether it's justifiable or not to have such a type of steal from the rich, give to the poor type of mentality. I mean, the gesture is nice, but in all reality, it doesn't work that way. That's like the big time drug dealer who buys everyone a turkey on Thanksgiving. Like, hey, bud, look, your parents spent all their money on crack this year, but hey, man, you'll have a turkey here. We'll kick you back. They spent 10 grand and robbed money. But here's a turkey as a consolation prize for your kids, so you can have a little bit of dignity. Here, we'll give you your dignity back. Here's a turkey. And this is the same thing with these. Oh, it's for public safety. Look, dude, when you send someone to prison and they come out, indoctrinated, hardcore death soldier and gang culture, or no, they got, it's like, I'm not gay, he's gay because he's doing all the work and I'm just sitting here with my thing out. Like, look, there's this mentality too, which is, denial. And it's just gross, man. It's just, it's like, I remember I used to watch that show, Oz, on, like HBO, and it was like every week these criminals in this prison were always plotting on how they could pop someone in the booty. Like, every week, and they'd bring in a new character. He'd get popped in the booty, he'd get killed, and next week, these guys are like waiting on the sidelines, like this. Yeah, new fish. But anyway, it's like, okay, in prison, in order, like, some people to survive, this is a coping mechanism strategy where These guys come in, they grow out their hair long, they take plungers and put them on their boobs, and they go like this so they get man tits, and they put Kool-Aid on their lips to look like a woman. And this is a survival strategy in prison. I mean, you got to be already there if you're doing that. But I could understand, though, because, I mean, this is kind of, like, really stressful, like, really not a lot of fun in there. So it's kind of like the only commodity they have left is their body. You know, give that body away to, you know, these people who are kind of trapped and just, well, however they got there, here they are. But it's, with this new thing about the gender neutrality, it's like they're offering people the same escape from life. It's like, look, yeah, man, this is a real mean, dangerous world, man. It's not fair, and life is cheap here. But if you go ahead and grow your hair out and get some fake tits and put some Kool-Aid on your lips, you know, the sodomites will leave you alone, but you're going to have to sacrifice your body, though. You sacrifice it for, you know, you let this guy get his jollies, and you don't have to worry about getting beaten or, you know, bullied, and, look, getting gang raped in the back laundry room behind some, you know, in a corner somewhere. Instead, you can willingly give it up. But, I mean, basically, you're going to still be, you know, there's going to be a long line of nasties waiting for your vacancy. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's a very, like my whole life, they were like, you better get a job. You better go to school, or you're going to end up selling your body out on the street. When I first moved to Florida, they were like, you'll end up walking Ridgewood, and you'll be a male prostitute. And that's like as low as you can go. Even though, you know, yeah, I can understand it's hard out here, and the struggle is real. So I can understand like the pressure people are under, and it is like it's a gross, sad factor of reality is that you know, there's all these con men out here anyway, and normally a lot of relationships in this world are fake, and they're just masks, psychological blind spots to make you look like an average tax-paying citizen, so everyone leaves you alone. But no, it's like a lot of these people are so complacent in this agenda. Like, you know, when you send these people to prison, they get out and they bring what they learned back to the street. It's kind of like, you're going here and you're exposed to all this toxic negativity, and toxic negativity doesn't go away. It just sits in your brain. You might like push it, you might block it out, but actually that causes a complex of you blocking out your memories and your emotional traumas. That's like PTSD, okay? And it's like, you got all these traumatized people walking around out here, and it's contagious, and it's obviously a sign that it's sick. Our society is sick, because a person doesn't like themselves off Jump Street so much that we're so rejected that they're trying to flip their gender, and they got to take all these chemicals, man, these chems. They got to take chems for the rest of their life. And just look at the side effect of any kind of medication commercial on TV. So, like, look, you have to subject yourself to a whole regimen of all kinds of weird chemicals, man. And some of this stuff is permanent, man. You'll be tweaked permanently, and it's a detriment to your health, man. And I mean, not to say, look, your psychological health, man, because I mean, really, man, let's be honest, man. It's denial. It's like societal wide denial. And I've also used this example of an institutionalized person, you know, where like in prison, it's like their personal boundaries expand because your expanse boundaries have been taken away, and you've been put in this little box. So in there, 3 feet is like 300 feet feels like 3 feet, but out here, it's like 300 feet feels like 3 feet. So it's like, you know, I can understand that. And it's also like the locusts. It's the locusts are just grasshoppers who have taken a hormonal change because there's an environmental factor where they have too much contact with other grasshoppers, and then there's a natural they molt a fourth time into a locust. So I can see this happening in humans. Also, I noticed, with pot growing, okay, if you got a pot plant, like to have a male plant, is it the male plant? I think it's got seeds in it anyway. So what you want to do, you don't want the plants with the seeds because that's less weight and grammage of the you'd prefer the bud over the stem and the seed. Reproduction stuff, they clone them, so there's no need for seed when it's a cash crop type of a situation, when it's medical grade. But when in the wild now, a pot plant would be so stressed that all these plants, they turn into hermaphrodites when they're overly stressed. And think about it. In prison, you have this. You got like the locust. That truly is overpopulation, But they make a lot of money, man. It's an industry, and it's not fair. It hasn't been from the very beginning. They used to take black guys and just say, "Oh, he raped some white woman," and they lock him in prison forever and have him working on the chain gang, and there's just nothing the dude could do about it. Like, basically, you got shanghaied, and it's still that way now because it's, for instance, I got a cousin went to prison, and this girl basically lied and said that she violently raped her, but then even went to court and said, "No, I just lied." But the state already picked up the charges because my cousin was belligerent when the cops came. It was like, "I'll kill everybody," like in a psychosis, in a rage, And I mean, yeah, she effed up bad, but the state came and picked up charges, and she's sitting in prison, like as an actual, like, she's Jack the Ripper now. That's what they made her look like, and I mean, that's understandable if she really was Jack the Ripper. But dude, look, dude, I could already tell this was just a romp that went awry. You know what I'm saying? Right off Jump Street. Because knowing my cousin too, like, look, it's just stubborn. Just stubborn, and just got caught in a really bad situation. It went really freaking bad. But, it's like, it's real easy for these women, especially these bisexual women, to get institutionalized. And it seems like it's an agenda. We've been conditioned scientifically. Society has been scientifically engineered this way, and it's like they've been doing it for so long. Like I said, dude, it's like, in a way, you're infecting these people, sending them to this beast. The beast is having its way with them, and then when it's done with them, it sends them back out here, and now we get to deal with them. And it's just by dealing with it, look, you got to go some places where I ain't even trying to really go here, man, in all actuality, but it needs to be said sometimes. You got to look at these uncomfortable subjects, and with a little bit of bias, man, because a bias isn't always a bad thing. If you're biased towards what's right and what's positive and what's the truth and what can be, the facts, that's okay. Because, look, but a bias towards lies and an ignorant, ignorant theoretical, beliefs, like ideologies that are just beliefs. They're not necessarily true, even though people truly believe in them, but they can be truly full of shizzle at the same time. And, but, this is a free country, they used to say, right? And everyone's got an opinion. So you have a right to an opinion. And you should have an opinion. But if you're going to cast an opinion, you should have enough self-respect to make sure that you can back up what you supposedly, believe in. You know what I'm saying? And it should make some kind of reasonable sense. Like, there's got to be some kind of pro, not a con. But the more I look at this type of stuff, man, it's a bunch of chicanery. It's just a big con job, and it's gross, and it's literally like trafficking in men's souls, man. And it's cruel and unusual punishment, and we're seeing the symptoms of this, throughout all society now.